Hi everybody, this is my first video on my new channel. My goal is to help all of us understand why our loved ones, chosen by us or not, treat us so poorly. I want to try and peel back the layers step by step so we have the armor to defend our broken hearts and maybe help others before theirs get hurt too. I have heard many say they will guide you about how to help or fix or counsel the narcissist, but when you look further, they do give proper advice, telling you to focus on yourself. But I never understood what that meant because I always felt good giving to others and putting myself last as it was comfortable for me. When I realized that as much as I was feeding their egos, it backfired on me when it was used against me. You see, I had built them above me, so that's where they stayed because I let them. Starting this channel was a huge decision with a lot of thought. It's scary to share some dark parts of my life, so I'm choosing to not include my face as I am still dealing with people that may take offense to things I say. It's best for me to set boundaries with my privacy and healing. But how appropriate I had Marilyn and Elvis being pulled over. What were they up to? I'm hoping that the painstaking lessons I was forced to learn, even as a small child, would find similarity in you and possibly open an unlocked part of ourselves which can only be done by learning how disordered minds work. Sadly, I witnessed violence and mental abuse as both my parents had addictive personalities, one to horses and one to the bottle. Both had many more marriages, and step-parents added up to 5. Just a few years ago, I still did not grasp what was really happening to me. Over and over, I ended up with the wrong partners, had friends who used me, and parents who never really cared for me properly. Recently, I was told by my ailing father that I was a mistake, that my mother purposely got pregnant to keep him, but he ran off with his secretary anyway. My dad's cruelness sank in, but I had to give the credit for so much pain back to where it came from, to him. But I had to do it with my own reasoning, not berate him as it would do nothing. I understood that something was broken in him, even though the world saw him as this wonderful man. He left our family when I was 18 months old. I was suffered with a birth defect, which I had to wear braces on my legs. I always forgave him because if I didn't, I would never see him, even though over my life it wasn't very often. This new wound he inflicted on me recently actually opened a door in me because I said to myself, enough is enough, no more. You may have taught me to not love myself by abandoning me, but you aren't going to leave me with this last jab at my heart. I mean, he's 85 years old, blind, with a screaming wife who is my evil stepmother. I realized his karma was his life now, and he was miserable. I decided carrying on his anger needed to end with me. It wasn't enabling or giving in. It was acceptance that he was still the same self-centered, wicked soul he always was, and that only enforced my need to let him go so I could have my own peace. I chose to be who I was, not who he tried to stir up in me. So when he was lost and needed help finding his slippers, I would go and find them because I still needed to be who I was. He's gone now, and I told him that I did forgive him, which I did for me, but that's not easy for many to do. I'm going to start with terminology because many psychological terms are widely used but not clearly explained. What clicked for me was how every disordered person in my life used all of the same things in relationships. The same type of tactics were used. I'm going to start with love bombing, which I already have included a few videos on. The next is going to be devaluation and then reactive abuse. This pattern tends to repeat itself over again. The romantic relationship is more pronounced, but the family game is a little different. I hope you hear something today that turns that key to discover things hidden. We are all at different places, and some things may pertain to you and some may not. We are fighting a battle we may not be able to see or control at times, but bit by bit we will break down the walls that were put there to knock us down. Change comes from learning, letting go, and living the lives we were supposed to be living. Let's do this together. I have survived so much, have so much to share. Please keep watching. Thank you.